50 free agents in this video, the Detroit Lions to look at to help upgrade this roster from high-end free agents to the lower guys for depth. And then we're going to talk all about it. But before we get into this video, if you think it'd be a really good idea to go stand behind a big horse and put your face by its buttocks area and take a pin needle and poke it to see what would happen, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. We talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Sometimes you can just get kicked in the face. Also, make sure you go ahead and take that like button with you and get that bad boy split in half by that hoof of the horse. Let's get into the 50 free agents. Quick note, 10 subs away from 20,000. It's a big deal. If you've not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's get there. And if we get there by Thursday, that's OPP. I'll do something crazy live. I don't know. We'll talk a beer chug, something insane. Throw some ideas in the comment section, and we'll do it live on the channel. Let's go ahead and start with the quarterback position. This would obviously be for quarterback number 2. There's a couple free agents I highlighted I think could be a good idea for the Detroit Lions. One being Marcus Mariota, dual threat quarterback out of the Raiders. I really like him as a backup quarterback. Not only could he come in and make some plays as a starter, but he has that ability to roll out and make plays with his legs, and that's something that he's utilized well with the Vegas Raiders. Probably should have been utilized more. Josh Rosen, a young quarterback, formerly one of the first-round pick over there for the Arizona Cardinals. He bounced from team to team, but he seemed to have done well for the Atlanta Falcons. The Lions are looking for a younger quarterback that could be a backup. He could potentially be a real cheap option for the Lions. How about Mitchell Trubisky, the former Chicago Bears quarterback? Yes, he was not a great quarterback for the Bears. We're talking a backup here. He's young, he's a dual-threat quarterback, and he actually did well as a backup for the Buffalo Bills. I think that would be not too bad for the Lions. Let me know in the comment section really quick, what is the Detroit Lions' biggest need? All you got to do is post, say, safety or wide receiver. You can do an S instead of writing the whole safety, WR for wide receiver. Let me know in the comment section. It'll be the pinned comment for this video. I want to know what you guys think the biggest need is for the Lions. Let's go ahead and jump to the tight end position. We're not looking for a number 1, but we're looking for a number 2. And Zach Ertz could be a older veteran player for the Lions to get. He's definitely reliable. He did well for the Philadelphia Eagles, did really well for the Arizona Cardinals the time that he had for this team. Dalton Schultz, an under-the-radar free agent tight end, I think the Lions could get. He's good on their offense. It may be a little bit harder to sign him. How about Mike Gesicki from the Miami Dolphins? He could be an option. That'd be a good number 2. David Njoku, he would be a higher-priced tight end. I think it'd be a little more difficult, but he's definitely a good one. CJ Uzomah from the Cincinnati Bengals could be an option for number 2. Finally, O.J. Howard. He actually was highly recruited via draft. He just didn't pan out to be that big guy, the next big thing regarding the tight end. Maybe he could come to Detroit. I think he'd be a solid number 2 for the Lions. Now we're going to do offensive line, fullback, and running back since I didn't have a whole lot in this area. Why? Because we really don't need a whole lot of help. Matt Nelson, yes, Matt Nelson. Not for the fact that he can just play offensive line, but bringing him as an extra tackle when we're running the football was really effective for the Detroit Lions. Evan Brown, the Lions center, I think we definitely, if we can re-sign him, we should. He's been very effective center position, a very good player for the Detroit Lions, backing up Frank Ragnow. If the Lions could get bigger and badder, I think Rashad Penny, running back from the Seattle Seahawks, would be a solid addition if they're trying to be a more physical football team. You have seen what he did to the Detroit Lions when we were up there in Seattle. And Jason Cabinda, obviously, is Dan Campbell's one of his favorite guy, fullback position. Bring him back, cheap deal. Not a bad option for the Lions to get more physical on the run game. The most important position, I think, on this list, and the Detroit Lions really need to look at, is the wide receiver position. Davante Adams, probably the most prized wide receiver on this list. We've been getting burnt by him for many years. He could actually be franchised by the Green Bay Packers, but if the Lions want to do an addition and screwing over the Green Bay Packers, they can attempt to sign Davante Adams. It's going to cost a big amount of money. Same with Chris Godwin, very good wide receiver over there for the Buccaneers. The Detroit Lions could upgrade that position. He'd be a solid number 2 for the Lions. Mike Williams, to me, seems like the most logical option here. He's the wide receiver from the Chargers. Definitely would help out the Detroit Lions, be a great number 2. Michael Gallup was one of my favorite wide receivers in free agency. He got injured at the end of the year, so now his deal could definitely be a lot less than you would expect to get, but you'd have to worry about the injury issue. Will Fuller, he's a guy who stretches the field. He was for the Houston Texans, went to the Miami Dolphins. I think this would actually be a low contract type of player for the Lions if they wanted to go that route. Kalif Raymond would be a kick returner. Obviously, to me, he would be like a number 6 wide receiver for the Lions, but again, kick returner, and that could help out on punts as well. Juju Smith-Schuster, bring him back to the Michigan area. He is a free agent for the Steelers, and they could be going all on rebuild. That could be an option for Lions to get younger at that position. Josh Reynolds, look, we went and we signed this guy after he was released by the Tennessee Titans. We picked him up, and he's been a solid option for the Lions as a fresh face with Jared Goff. Sammy Watkins, he's been bouncing from team to team. The issue with him is more of an injury. Can he be with the Detroit Lions and be on the roster? I don't think it would cost a whole lot. Underrated wide receiver James Washington, again from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was actually considered to be potentially on the trade block this last offseason. Could the Lions go ahead and acquire services? He'd be a solid player for the Lions. Zay Jones from the Las Vegas Raiders. He'd be more of a depth player, cheap. It would not hurt us. But how about Allen Robinson, the wide receiver from the Chicago Bears? Yeah, he's from Michigan. He's a big-time wide receiver. He'd immediately be a number 1 for the Detroit Lions. Addition by subtraction, so you're taking away from Chicago, an NFC North rival, and you're adding yourself with a quality player. Him and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and if they decided to resign Josh Reynolds, would be a pretty good combination of wide receivers. Do a little bit of special teams here. We got to re-sign Jack Fox, the Detroit Lions punter. Go ahead and lock this guy up for a 5-year deal, and he's going to be paid as a punter. That's not a whole lot of money, but again, we're talking about a punter here. How about Cordero Patterson, wide receiver, running back, kick returner, whatever you want to call it. He's kind of an every down type of player. The Detroit Lions could look to acquire his services and be utilized as a Swiss Army knife for the Lions offense. Let's go ahead and jump to the defense here. A lot of edge players the Lions could look to beef up without having to simply just go to the draft. Stephon Weatherly from the Denver Broncos would be a solid option for the Lions to get after the passer. Not too bad all around, a good player. Charles Harris, the Detroit Lions' own edge rusher, re-sign him. He came in as a free agent, did a phenomenal job. I think that would be a positive. Dante Fowler Jr., I don't think it'd be the biggest contract in the world. He could be a player the Lions look to acquire to beef up, but I like Hassan Reddick probably the most out of this. This guy is a younger player. He's not too old, and he's did some good dominating numbers for the Arizona Cardinals and for the Carolina Panthers. He could be more of that versatile edge and bounce back as a linebacker. Randy Gregory from the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, he was offsides a couple times in the playoffs, but he definitely can get after the passer and be a good situational player for the Detroit Lions. Von Miller, the ageless wonder right now. He was traded to the Rams, and he's doing some pretty good numbers recently for the last 5-6 games for the Rams. That could be a veteran piece for the Lions. Jadeveon Clowney. He's bounced from team to team, but he's definitely still got that presence with him where you got to pay attention to this guy and make sure that the offensive line can handle him, because if not, imagine having him and Kayvon Thibodeau or an Aiden Hutchinson. That'd be a devastating defensive line. A good piece. Just got to worry about injury history. Chandler Jones from the Arizona Cardinals has been solid. Yes, he's a little bit older, a little bit longer in the tooth, but we're talking about 1-year deal here, and that could definitely help out the Lions pass rush. Go to the linebacker position. We need help here for sure, and Christian Kirksey, he's definitely somebody the Lions could look at from the Houston Texans. Beef up the middle of the field and help this team out. Stop getting gashed in the middle, and I think that would be an option. Quan Alexander from team to team. Now he was with the San Francisco 49ers. He bounced around out at the Saints. Obviously, the connection there. He would be a cheaper option the Lions could help. How about Kenny Young from the Denver Broncos? Again, this would be more of a backup role. It would be a cheap option. Juwan Bentley from the New England Patriots. Yes, I do have a Patriot here. Again, more of a depth player, not the biggest piece, and it would not cost a lot. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, the Detroit Lions right now. I think this would probably be the most option for the Lions regarding signing a veteran linebacker, because he's been with the team right now, and obviously this coaching staff likes him. Alex Anzalone, Again, the coaching staff likes him. He knows the system. He's done some good things, just injured at the end. Cheap contract. Melvin Ingram, he's definitely a presence to him. He's a little bit longer in the tooth, but he can make some noise in the middle. He can do a good job. And Anthony Barr, again, addition from the Minnesota Vikings, and you're hurting them by taking a player. I think Anthony Barr is still a solid player in this league, and it would be an upgrade putting him next to Derek Barnes, and if they decided to draft another linebacker in the draft, getting better. Let's talk to the cornerback positions. I think this is more of a strikeout if we have some injuries or if there's issues in the draft that we don't get the right players we want. Because I think we're solid right now in the cornerback position, but we've seen with injuries. But you could look at J.C. Jackson from the New England Patriots. Stephon Gilmore, obviously he was really good just a couple years ago. His game fell off a little bit, but Casey Hayward made some plays for the Las Vegas Raiders and in the playoffs as well. Patrick Peterson, the veteran from the Arizona Cardinals who went to Minnesota. He's still a solid player. I want to say he's a leader or anything to that nature, but a one-year deal, and he could be a guy to help mentor. We got Travis Ward from the Kansas City Chiefs, another option for the Lions as a veteran presence. Not too big, though, on the cornerbacks. How about we get to the safety position? Another major need for the Detroit Lions. Marcus Maye from the New York Jets could be a real solid piece, a nice little thumper for the Detroit Lions in the back end. This could potentially be a pairing up with the Tracy Walker, or if we can't get him back, be a solid option. Jesse Bates, I think he's upgraded from what we got right now, where you can see Will Harris or Dean Marlowe. Jabril Peppers, former Michigan player here, bring him back to the state of Michigan. I think he'd be definitely a solid piece. Better than what we got right now, and I wouldn't mind it as well. I think the biggest player that potentially could be a Detroit Lion on this list is Marcus Williams, the safety from the New Orleans Saints. Connections to Aaron Glenn, Dan Campbell. It just makes a lot of sense for him coming to Detroit. He understands everything here, and he'd be a really good upgrade. Tyrann Mathieu, he is a free agent as well from the Kansas City Chiefs. They could go that route, even though I really don't think that's something they will like. Xavier Woods from the Minnesota Vikings, again, taking some players away from the NFC North. Wouldn't be a bad option. And lastly, and surely not least, Quandre Diggs, the former Detroit Lion. We traded him away. Now, he got injured at the end of the year. He is a thumper. I don't know if they want to go a little bit older, but I love him, so I had to throw him on this list. You guys need to check out Lions Nation Unite app. Go to lionsnationunite.com. Download the app. It is a social media platform for Detroit Lions fans, made by a Detroit Lion, Herman Moore himself. You can also follow them on Twitter, Lions Nation U, and on their YouTube channel, Lions Nation Unite. I'm on this app. It's absolutely fantastic. Come on down. Add me when you get it. In the upcoming videos, we got the One Pride podcast every single Thursday. Again, if you guys get me to 20,000, we'll be doing something crazy on there. Got videos dropping every single day and mailbag video tomorrow, and it'll feature some of the questions that was taking place on the yesterday's OPP. And so it's fun, and we're just going to continue with free agency, the NFL draft. We're going to pound it away because that's what this channel's all about. So make sure, if you ain't subscribed, do that. Share the video, and go ahead and like it as well.